Welcome back. Our guest in this segment of Citizens Forum is Ruben Rebalkin, and he's with a group called Hours to Share, with an H, Hours. Ruben, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack.
So what is Hours to Share?
Well, I made a video to share with everybody what Hours to Share is, and so if we could roll that tape, we can check it out.
Sounds good. And after you watch the video, you're going to know what it is.
Cancer sucks. If you're lucky, you'll never go through cancer. If you're really lucky, you'll go through cancer and go into remission. I'm really lucky, and my name's Ruben. Some friends of mine and my mom got together to think of a way to help those that have been affected by cancer. A way that you don't have to shave your head, you don't have to be an athlete, something that you can do anywhere at any age. So who are we?
We are a newly registered not-for-profit called HoursToShareorg. Here's the big idea. We have reimagined the 10K race. Instead of running, we invite you to spend about an hour on October 3rd to share an act of kindness with someone who has been affected by cancer. Simply go to HoursToShareorg. That will take you to our Indiegogo page. There you can get registered like you would before a race and find ideas for your act of kindness. Then, on October 3rd, instead of sharing your race time, you can share your act of kindness that you gave to inspire others. Oh, and like a 10K race, you'll receive either an Hours to Share gel wristband or t-shirt.
Again, just go to HoursToShareorg. It'll take you to the Indiegogo page, and it'll walk you through the steps of how to register and help somebody who's been affected by cancer. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ruben. So great video.
Thank you.
So how did you get involved with Hours to Share?
Well, I'm part of the board for Hours to Share, and I came up with the idea. Actually, a few years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. And so I have a bit of a story to share, if you don't mind. So I was at work, and I got out of my work truck, and I pulled my groin. I had an injury. And so I went on workers' compensation to get the injury to heal. But after a few months, the physiotherapist thought that perhaps I was lying, that I really wasn't injured. And so I went and had an MRI to see what was the matter with my hip. And when they did that, they found a tumor on my hip just above the hip joint, about the size of a kiwi. And so it turned out I had cancer on my hip, something called plasmacytoma cancer. And so once that happened, not only was I out of work, but I was also off WCB. And I had a new daughter who's a couple of months old, newlywed, and no work. And so it was a really difficult, very difficult time in our family. So going through this and seeing how hard it was, of course on me, but also on my wife and everybody around, I was appreciative of those that helped out. And as the years went on, and I would see 10K races and other type of marathons and sporting events for cancer, I thought, well, that's great. I'm so grateful that people are making donations and fundraising to help with cancer. But then I thought, it would sure be nice if people were actually helping the people affected by cancer. And fast forward to this past summer, my brother was visiting from out of town, and he came with me to get a CT scan. And I was really appreciative of it. I shared it on Facebook, saying that, hey, you don't actually need to run a 10K to help somebody that's been impacted by cancer. You can actually just drive them to an appointment. And a lot of people, about 80, 90 people commented or liked that status. And I thought, you know what, maybe there is something to this, that people can actually just help an individual that's been impacted by cancer. And so with that, I thought, I'm going to do something about it. And so I talked to some people that are brighter than me, and we got together and formed a board, foundation, called Hours to Share. And so as we saw in the video, the idea is to share our time and our energy with somebody. You can do it any time, but on a particular day, we chose October 3rd to rally around somebody and maybe go out for a coffee or a movie or pizza or maybe help with something.
Yeah, whatever they want, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like in your case, one thing that was needed was money. I mean, you were out of a job, and you know, it's strange because when you said that, I was kind of shocked. You never think about it. But of course, somebody, was there any support available from you? Like EI or something? Or,
No.
no, you couldn't get that either.
Yeah, that all ended. And so it was very difficult financially for a bit. Fortunately, I had a relative from that I had never met, but we knew each other on Facebook. She did a bottle drive, raised some funds, and some other people raised some funds, and my wife worked, and we were able to make it through. Yeah. So people did help.
But a lot of people, I mean, you're not the only ones, right?
Oh,
so
no, yeah.
A lot of people, and it's funny, I've never really thought of that side of it.
Yeah, there's yeah, some people are fortunate when they get cancer that maybe it's a small procedure. Like I had a friend who was diagnosed and treated all within a month. For me, it took much longer, and recovery was years, unfortunately. But I'm fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can people do? How do people help?
Sure. Well, as I mentioned, we have the Indiegogo page. So for those that don't know, it's a crowdsourcing page that allows people to do donations to help with a cause or project that somebody's doing. And so for us, there has been expenses incurred in doing this, from getting the logo done to getting insurance to all those back office type of things. So contributing, that's kind of one way to help. However, one doesn't really need to contribute to participate in Hours to Share. They can contribute by just saying, you know what, Bob's wife had passed away from cancer, maybe I'll go take him out for a drink. Like that's one way to help out, to kind of pay it forward and let people know that you care.
Yeah. It sounds like it's almost something that, you know, you could almost have an ongoing, these people need the fence painted, right? And maybe somebody would, and these people need somebody to, you know, make sure the kids can get home from school, and a neighbor could sort of do it. Yeah, you know, we're so cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was going through cancer, a woman from Nigeria had messaged me. I blogged about my cancer experience. And her husband had the same cancer as I did. And in Nigeria, they keep it a secret because people would walk on the other side of the street. They wouldn't want to have anything to do with somebody that had cancer and fear that they might get it. So fortunately, over here, the awareness of cancer is very high. People know that people get cancer. But the emotional awareness, or the emotional impact of those that have been impacted by cancer, whether they went through it or maybe, like my wife, having to deal with somebody who is going through it, is taxing on those people. And so we're hoping to raise an awareness of how we can support and be a friend to those people. So, it can be anything from like bake a pie to write a note, really anything that would show an increase of kindness to somebody.
Yeah, just make life a little bit easier for some people who are going through a hard time.
Sure. So recently in town there was a BC Thanksgiving food drive. I'm not sure if you saw that or not, but it just kind of made me think of what Hours to Share is doing, which is, sure, people should feed the hungry all year round, but sometimes there's a food drive that will raise awareness, that people will donate a little bit more because they're rallying around the troops to, hey, let's get some food. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do for those that have been impacted by cancer, to set aside one time a year to, like, hey, let's help somebody out, and perhaps that kindness will spread throughout the year too.
Yeah, that's even better. You know, you mentioned about food drives. We should always have them. Actually, we shouldn't have them. We shouldn't need them.
Yes.
And, you know, a little bit the same with cancer, because, you know, we've got to focus more on prevention, I think. Mm-hmm. And, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Sure
so
is.
What kinds of things are people doing?
Well, some people have actually already done things, like help somebody move.
That's big.
Yeah, it is big.
Yeah, that's big.
I know other people are taking other people out for meals. Some people are just doing phone calls.
Or even delivering a meal. You know,
Yeah,
and
that's
a
huge
lot
helpful.
of people would probably like to do something like that, but like me, they never think about it.
Yeah.
You know, but there must be people in all of our neighborhoods. You don't have to go far to
No.
find somebody who's got cancer these days.
Yeah. And they don't even need to have cancer today. You can just say, hey, you know, Joan, sorry that you went through cancer a while back. I'm glad that you're here. You know, dinner's on me tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this a one-time event?
So it's not a one-time event. So we're starting for October 3rd, but we want it to be an ongoing thing. And so, and it will be an ongoing thing. So October 3rd is our launch. And so should anybody want to find out more information, just go to HoursToShareorg, and that will take you to the Indiegogo page. There'll be the same video that we just saw, and more information, and some frequently asked questions.
Okay. And some, sorry, what was the last one?
Frequently asked
frequently
questions,
asked
FAQs,
questions. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Ruben, thank you very much, not only for appearing on the show, but for beginning Hours to Share.
Well, thank you, Jack. Really appreciate it.
And thank you all for watching Citizens Forum this week.